When your dog licks their lips or turns their head away, do you actually know what that means? Most people think it's just random behavior. Maybe they're tired, distracted, or just being a little weird. But behind that small, almost invisible movement, there's something deeper that most dog owners completely miss. It's one of the most vulnerable signals your dog can give. And if you misunderstand it, which most owners do, you might slowly damage your dog's sense of safety without even realizing it. Let's start with what this behavior really means. 1. The debunk. It's not random. It's a quiet cry. Have you ever noticed your dog licking their lips when there's no food around? Or turning their head slightly when you reach toward them? Most people assume it's nothing. Just a habit. A meaningless quirk. Here's what's actually happening. Those tiny movements are early stress signals. They're your dog's way of saying, I am not comfortable right now, but I don't want conflict. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. And that's exactly why it's so easy to miss. Emotionally, this is your dog choosing peace over panic. Instead of growling or snapping, they're trying to diffuse the situation before it escalates. Think about that for a second. Your dog is actively trying to avoid tension with you. Impact behavior, conflict, avoidance is survival. Dogs that escalate too quickly risk injury or rejection. So, what does this reveal? Your dog isn't being weird. The signs, stress, shows up before you see it. Have you ever felt uncomfortable but tried to hide it? That's exactly what your dog is doing. Most people think stressing dogs looks obvious. Barking, shaking, hiding. Here's what's actually happening. Stress starts much earlier than that. A 2019 study from the University of Lincoln found that dogs display subtle calming signals like lip licking and gaze aversion long before they show overt signs of fear or aggression. But what matters is this. Your dog doesn't jump straight to panic. They whisper first. These signals are the whisper. Emotionally, it means your dog is trying to regulate themselves. They're saying, I trust this situation can stay safe if I handle it gently. Think about that for a second. They're managing their own emotions in real time. Canine cognition research also suggests that dogs are highly sensitive to human body language and tone. So sometimes, these signals aren't just about what's happening. They're about how you're coming across. What this reveals is powerful. Your dog is constantly reading you and adjusting themselves to keep the peace. And here's where it gets even deeper. 3. The scent pack bond. You are their safe base or their uncertainty. Picture this. You lean in to hug your dog. They lick their lips. They turn their head slightly. Most people think, oh, they're shy. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog is trying to create space without breaking the bond. Dogs rely heavily on scent, proximity, and a subtle movement to feel safe. When something feels slightly off, even if it's you, they don't reject you. They adjust. Emotionally, this is incredibly important. Your dog still sees you as their safe base. But in that moment, something feels uncertain. Think about that for a second. They're not pulling away completely. They're negotiating comfort, impact dynamics. This is how relationships stay stable. Not through dominance, but through constant micro-adjustments. Your dog is essentially asking, can we slow this down? I want to stay close, just not like this. What this reveals about how your dog sees you is huge. You are central to their emotional world. So even slight discomfort around you matters more than anything else. Now, before we keep going, if you're learning something new about your dog, hit like and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more people who want to build a real bond with their dog. 4. The evolutionary route. This behavior kept their ancestors alive. In the wild, conflict is dangerous. Even a small fight can lead to injury, and injury can mean death. So wolves and early dogs evolved something smarter. They developed calming signals. Here's what's actually happening. Lip licking, head turning, yawning. These are ancient tools for survival. They say, I'm not a threat. I don't want trouble. Let's keep this calm. Emotionally, this isn't weakness. It's intelligence. Think about that for a second. Your dog isn't reacting impulsively. They're following a deeply wired instinct to maintain harmony. Even puppies use these signals with their mothers and littermates. From the very beginning, they learn. Safety comes from de-escalation. So, when your dog shows these signs to you, they're treating you like part of their pack. What this reveals is simple but powerful. Your dog isn't just living with you. They're navigating a relationship with you. And every small signal is part of that conversation. 5. The selective behavior. They don't do this with everyone. Have you ever noticed something strange? Your dog might show these subtle signals, but not with strangers. Most people think stress behaviors would show up everywhere. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog is more emotionally invested in you than anyone else. So they try harder with you emotionally. This is about preservation. They don't want to damage the bond they have with you. Think about that for a second. They care more about staying connected to you than being fully comfortable in that moment. With strangers, they might simply walk away or avoid entirely. But with you, they stay. They adjust. They communicate. That's not distance. That's effort. What this reveals is something most owners overlook. Your dog isn't just reacting to you. They're trying to stay close to you, even when something feels off. And that leads to the deepest part of this behavior. 6. The ultimate revelation. This is what trust looks like under pressure. Let's bring everything together. Your dog licks their lips. They turn their head. They soften their body. Most people see nothing. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog is experiencing discomfort and choosing trust anyway. They're saying, I'm not fully okay, but I believe this situation can stay safe. Emotionally, this is one of the most honest moments your dog can show you. Think about that for a second. They're not shutting down. They're not running away. They're staying and hoping you understand. That's vulnerability. And this is where the relationship is either strengthened or quietly weakened. If you ignore the signal, push forward, or misread it, your dog learns something. Not instantly, not dramatically, but gradually. They learn, my signals don't work. I need to escalate next time. Or worse, I just have to tolerate this. But if you notice it, if you pause, soften, give space, your dog learns something completely different. They learn, you listen, you understand, you're safe. And that changes everything. The warning. If these signals disappear, pay attention. Now, here's something most people never consider. What if your dog stops showing these signals altogether? At first, it might seem like a good thing. No more stress, right? But here's what's actually happening. It can mean your dog has stopped trying to communicate. Emotionally, that's not progress. That's resignation. Think about that for a second. A dog that no longer signals discomfort may have learned that it doesn't matter. And that's when behavior becomes unpredictable. Because the next signal might not be subtle. It might be sudden. Or in some cases, your dog may simply withdraw, become distant, quiet, disconnected. Animal behavior. Researchers have observed that when early warning signals are consistently ignored, dogs are more likely to skip them entirely and move straight to stronger reactions. So, don't ignore this. Those small signals, they are the safest version of communication your dog can offer. So when your dog licks their lips or turns their head away, do you actually know what that means now? It's not random. It's not meaningless. That's not just a habit. That's your dog trying to stay safe while staying close to you. And that behavior, it was never small to your dog. And it shouldn't be small to you either.